As educational creators, we want to solve problems and share solutions and get paid along the way. But that is something that I struggled for the past 5 years until I joined the Synthesizer Community, which is all about solving problems and sharing solutions. And in there is a complete roadmap towards financial freedom. And it's the most complete course that I have found to really get paid to solve problems. Wherever you are stuck, this video should pinpoint that. And then I encourage you to join the community and go through the course and actually engage with the people, because that is the most valuable aspect of the community. It's not the classroom, it's not the owner, it's the people within that allow you to engage with each other and actually learn from one another. Let's have fun with this and dive into the summary. So here we start with orientation and aligning ourselves to the right path. And there are only three things that really matter along this online game that is free to play. And it starts as soon as you realize that you are playing a game. And these three things are attracting leads, converting these leads, and then delivering the results. Choosing one of them will already help you orient yourself on this path, because it is close to impossible to do all of these things. So you're probably better off on just focusing on one thing. And then here we have the 7 C's that we're going to cover throughout this video as well. But let's dive even deeper into the success equation, which is a Venn diagram between your income skills and your superpower. So the income skills are made out of selling and writing. So if you know how to write and if you know how to sell, then you will never struggle to make an income. And if you combine this with your superpowers, which are your strengths and your passion, then you'll actually enjoy the thing that you're working on and getting paid for. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, and if it doesn't bring meaning and purpose to your life, then the money that you're earning with that doesn't really matter. If you combine all of them, you should come up with one thing that allows you to go in that direction. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just about being directionally accurate. From here on, we start with the first C, which is consumption. So once you know the direction, then it's all about consuming information about that. And there is the concept of cognitive overload. So I would just start with one source of information and following that until you get results. Just like a video game, you focus on one boss. And until you beat this boss, you're not going to progress throughout the game. So focus on finishing this one boss, and then you can continue and start something new. This is where the multiplayer game starts. There are 3 types of people that you can network with. People that are behind you, people that are at your level, and that people are ahead of you. If you start by giving a gift, whether someone is behind you at your level or someone ahead of you, it is always appreciated. And this can be done in forms of a comment. So you can just create the spark and start commenting on other people's posts, especially if you combine this with the consumption. The general method of it is to hook the attention of the reader, praise the content because we're still commenting on something, and then sharing a lesson in forms of a story. From here on, we enter the chat. So once you've commented a few times under people's posts, it makes a lot of sense to start chatting with them, because this is what turns the sparks into flames. And then there are general principles like don't be transactional, treat people like family. Like all of these things are just generally good advice. And I think that can be summarized in like just be human. First, choose the people that you actually want to DM, then hook them. So just like in the comments, we also want to hook their attention and get the conversation started. Add value. That's always something that people will appreciate. And then you can transition the conversation towards the call, because this is just another layer of getting to know the person more deeply. And it allows you to connect at a deeper level. This is where you fuel the fire. And there are different forms of calls. For now, we're just going to focus on the networking calls to just get to know people. We also have discovery calls and sales calls that we'll cover at a later point. But in the networking calls, it's just about understanding each other and just generally being yourself. People want to know, why are we on this call? Like, what's going to happen? And that already releases some of the tension. If we cover this by setting the tone first, thinking of a few questions that we can ask and ending early. And then after the call, you can follow up with whatever you've been talking about. So if you do all of these things, then you're already doing more than 99% of the people, because most of business and getting paid is just about doing the basics at a very high level. Just spending 10 minutes before the call will make a huge difference. if things go really well, you may want to start doing case studies for them. So helping people actually solve these problems. If you're just getting started and like, I wish someone had told me that, it's like, don't start by selling online courses and do the scalable thing, because in the beginning, we just need a lot of practice. And the easiest way to just practice is to start with the services or the coaching. And this is more individual, this is one-on-one, and it's really not scalable. But that's not the point, because we're getting started. The whole point of the case study is to getting to proof. So you can prove other people that you know what you're talking about, and proving to them that you can help them. It's the least scalable thing, but it's also the easiest thing to sell. Don't say, I help you make 10,000 per month if you haven't achieved this yourself. In this case study, we're trying to get even more proof. So we can say, hey, not only have we done this for ourselves, but we also help other people do the same thing. In the beginning, I really thought about like the problems that I wanted to solve instead of the problems that people actually had. So the difference between what the market wants and what I want. And when we want to get paid for things, we really have to focus on the things that the market wants. Generally, it's a good idea to ask people about their current situation, where they want to go, and what problems they have along the way. Generally, setting it up with like lots of energy, taking the lead, giving context. From here on, we can customize the solution. So once we've gone through all of that, it's about creating a solution, because now we know where people want to go, where they are, and what problems they have. Now it's our opportunity to solve these problems by creating a custom solution for that. There are two ways to get these quick wins. For people ahead of you, it's usually a service trial. So something that you do for them so they don't have to worry about this anymore. Or for people who are behind you, it's more of a quick win through coaching, and you eliminate some of their limiting beliefs or just give them direction. So people ahead of you don't want direction from you because they're ahead of you, but maybe they just want some help and support. And this is also how you can go from free to paid. You start with free work and you solve a problem for them, and then you can get paid for solving the second problem. Because once you've already solved someone's problem, you can just simply ask like, hey, would you like me to solve more problems? And it's like, of course, I already trust you. I know that I can rely on you. And this is where we go into the client success and actually delivering the results. To maximize customer success, there are some principles and practices that you can follow, which all evolve around making it as easy as possible for them to see the results. Because we don't want our solutions to cause more pains and problems for the person that we're actually saving time and money. That's why less is more, convenience is king, and the simplest presentation usually wins. If we do all of these things, then we can collect our proof through a case study. Ideally, you ask for these things after the client or customer has gotten a quick win. You can also get multiple testimonials from the same person, because this will help you along the journey as well. From there, if you now have like multiple case studies, ideally, it's about getting paid to help someone. To get started, I highly encourage you to do a high ticket. When I got started, I started with low ticket, and even though it was kind of working, I didn't understand why I wasn't profitable. Well, it turns out that you need to sell a lot of low tickets in order to cover your costs. And it's much easier to just do a few high tickets to do that, because they have higher value, they have a bigger impact, and it's also easier and fun. Starting a low ticket makes a lot of sense once you have a team already. What's really important is we want a specific person solving a specific problem and following a specific path. That's what we mean with binary. And the more specific, the better. So I help everyone is not specific and it's not binary. But I help men in their 30s lose 30 pounds in 3 weeks. This is super specific, and you can say this was achieved or this was not achieved. This is the path to 10K, because if you charge something for 5K, then you only need 2 clients to get to 10K per month. So all about being really specific, and the more niche you are, the more you can charge for it, because it will become more relevant. Let's get into crafting a synthesizer offer. Like, don't skip steps, don't reinvent the book, and don't promise something that you can't prove. When you give value, give as much as you can, but don't try to make it perfect, because done is better than perfect, but each done should be better than the previous one. And the offer is the bridge that overcomes the problem from the current situation to the desired situation. Here we have the what, how, and why steps. And for the what, we think about, who do we help? what problems do we solve for them, and what kind of dream outcome can we help them reach. From there on, we can really think about how can we help them now? So this is the delivery aspect. Is it done for you? Is it one-on-one coaching? What is the mechanism of that? And then also having a time frame so people know it's like, okay, when can I expect results? In the end is the why. Why will this actually change the life? Here we can get deeper into the price and like how much to charge for that. Then covering the proof, the guarantee, and then adding some scarcity, urgency, and some bonuses. Like all of these will just generally enhance the offer. We really want to give the market what the market wants, and the best way to find this out if someone is already selling that. And that's probably the easiest way to start. Now we get into the actual close, which includes the packaging of the offer and the pitch. Instead of just trying to do cold sales where you don't really know the people, it's more of a two-step framework where we first do a discovery call, we do some free work, and then afterwards the sale is much more likely. And it also doesn't feel as salesy because you already know that you can help these people. When we go into the packaging, it is mostly about the offer pillar. So again, the what, how, why, and then the steps, the dream outcome, painting the problem for the people, and then paving the path. And it's like, hey, we've already done this and we can help you do the same thing. Now we come to the pitching, which is just presenting the offer in a natural and easy way that results in a close. And the key aspect is conviction. Believe in what you're selling, and this will make it so much easier. Ideally, you want to get to the point where it's like, if I don't pitch this to this person, then I'm doing a disservice because I know I could help them. And by me not helping them, I know they will suffer. I know it will take them longer time, and I know they cannot have the impact that they want to have. I'm going to end with an example, and this is Aiden's example, who is the host of the Synthesizer, who has done this with Andrew Kirby, who started the Synthesizer and is the owner. Here we have the general promise, the problem, and I'm just going to scroll through that, and you can pause, or again, you can check out the whole document because I'm putting the link below. And then here we have the pitching, which is booking the call, preparing the call, presenting the offer, handling different objections, and there are quite a few of them. And then in the end, just collecting payment. All of that is my synthesis of the synthesizers. I hope you enjoyed all of that. Let me know at what stage you are within the roadmap. And then once you know that, go and watch the deep dive within the Synthesizer community. It's a completely free community. I'm looking forward to see you inside. And yeah, until next time, have a good one and enjoy the journey.